Hey, so today I'm going to do a topic and it's going to be about Bermuda. Okay, I'm going to do like fun facts about Bermuda and like what they have got, what they haven't. So, number one thing I wanted to say, they got no McDonald's in Bermuda. Yeah, they got no McDonald's in Bermuda. They got a KFC, but not McDonald's. So my kids wouldn't be happy going there because there's no McDonald's. But yeah, they do have a nice KFC and it's reasonable priced. Over there it's really pricey for food, but KFC is you get quite a bit for the money. So if you want something cheap, go to KFC. So another fun fact about Bermuda. Bermudians are really friendly. You go there, they go out your way, always hello, they make you feel safe. We even had one Bermudian that just a stranger that took us all the way around the island and for free to show us all the beaches and that. They're really friendly. He knew one of our family members. As Bermudians, if you go to Bermuda, everyone knows everybody. So it's like 9 miles long, 5 miles wide. It's around that length, like you mean. So and because of that, everyone knows everybody. So it's people are really polite thing. If you get a bus though, transport. Now transport is another factor. You cannot, if you're not a resident, it's illegal to have a car over there. So you wouldn't be able to rent out a car if you don't live in Bermuda. So if we wanted to hire a car, you go there. Oh, you can't even hire a car. You can get away around through taxis, which is about $50 per ride, which is quite expensive. Or bus. Bus is really cheap. But the thing is about the bus, you want to go to the post office or the centre, of where. What's it called? Hamilton is the centre where the bus station is, and you can buy a weekly pass. So you don't want to be buying tickets per day because it'll be really pricey. So you go to Hamilton, or I think they do them in the post offices, and you can buy a weekly pass. If you're trying to travel on a Sunday though, you might have trouble. Sundays are less transport, but also the shops aren't open, like the corner shops, that after a certain time. Now, so the good factor is they are really friendly, but if you get transport on a bus, they can be really packed and they go pretty fast. You go like down hills and stuff, and you're like, oh my god. you feel like, oh my, it's way overpacked how it would be. If loads of people standing and think. Sometimes it's not as packed, but every 15 minutes you're waiting at a bus stop and another bus passes. So it's good like that every 15 minutes. Also, if you go in to Horseshoe Bay, you have to go down. There's a bus and you can get a lift. From a bus, you pick up the phone at the bus stop and you say, you want to get a bus, and the bus comes up and go down. It constantly comes up and down, but if no one's down there, they'll stop until they get a phone call. So that's another thing. But bus drivers, some can be a little bit rude, but a lot are friendly, but they're really respectful, especially to the elderly. So if you're on Hamilton and it's a mass queue to wait to get on the bus, right? And if there's old people and people try to get on the bus, you won't be. They're just society. No, off. Old people like from 80, 70, 80, 90, 100 and similar fine. Old people go on there first, and so they let the old people on first, which I really like about Bermuda. Like, they're really respectful for the elderly. So it's really good that they let the old people on first, because usually you just queue up and go in the line and go on. But obviously the buses can get a bit packed, especially, you know, not everyone can sit down. So I do really like that. So some more facts about Bermuda. So make it clear about the transport thing. You can rent a scooter. You're allowed to have a scooter around Bermuda, that's fine. But you can't hire a car unless you live in Bermuda. Each Bermuda household are only allowed to have one car. So if it's like 5 you adults living, like obviously siblings and that, you're only allowed to have one car. So that's a bit ooh. But you can still hire a scooter, you know, ones. But otherwise you'll be either a scooter or public transport, which is quite cheap if you buy the weekly ticket, but if you don't buy a weekly ticket and daily, it can be really expensive. So make sure you get that weekly ticket, should I say. There's actually a prince that lives in one of the houses in Bermuda where you can drive past. Oops. And I don't know what his name is, but he's a prince. He's not always there, but it's his, obviously, holiday home. Captain Caesar Jones lives in Bermuda too. I stayed in the house opposite her, so that was quite fun. So yes, there are beaches with pink sand in Bermuda. The best one to go to, I would say, is the Horseshoe Bay beach. It's a big beach, and it's got like a stone rock thing, and you can like go around it, and you can walk to the next beach over. But it is really beautiful. You notice the pink sand more when the tide's out rather when it's in, because some of the sand is white, like a white, really light sandy colour, really light as it's in the shore, but the more further out, the more pink it goes. It is most beautiful. It is other beaches that do the pink sand, but the best one I would say is Horseshoe Bay. At Horseshoe Bay, they had actually got like a little mini bar, right? And you can buy alcohol and snacks, sandwiches, like tuna sandwiches and stuff like that. You know, they don't do hot food, what I noticed, but you know, you can get I'm sure they do coffee there. I'm sure they do, but they do like alcohol drinks as well as Coke and stuff like that. But they also have got toilets. Okay. Now the toilets have got showers in, so you can go in and wash yourself off. So it's really nice. So you can get yourself changed, and yeah, it's pretty good. So it's really good. I do love Bermuda. I think I love it so much because my nan's family's from there, and I got family over Bermuda, and but I've only been there once, but my nan's been there loads of times. So Woody's is a great place. It's really down to earth, lovely. They got music on, and you can eat outside, sitting down on the benches, or you can take away. It's where all the working class people go, and it's more of a field what it would be like living in Bermuda. This is where to go. Now they got recently priced. When I went in, it was $15 or something like that. And you can get like a fish sandwich. Yeah. Oh my god, they do this beautiful fish sandwich in there. Oh, it's the time. Okay, so if you want to have a fish sandwich, okay, we did go and get a fish sandwich. It was like the Anchor in the dockyard, which I think was a bit more expensive, but it was nice. Nowhere near as nice as Woody's. So you want lovely food, you go to Woody's. So that's the place to go, Woody's. So yeah, it is a really nice place. Oh, the food is to die for. The fish sandwich is like this, massive. So Woody's it is. So yeah, that's a place to want to eat. They're also good at you go to like the bakeries or like little cafes in Hamilton Centre. You can have like a is it like a fish pie or something like that, or you know, they do pies Bermuda, and it's a bit different from UK or wherever, but it's sweet. So you're eating it and it's sweet as well as lovely, and I'm not used to it. Like, it's a bit different. So if you want a pie, go ahead and have a pie too. And one also thing about Bermuda, what language do they speak? English, so you don't have to worry about that. And they use USA dollars. You can use USA dollars, right? But you all can also use Bermuda money, and Bermuda money is really, really pretty. I kept loads of Bermuda money when I went over there. The coins are really pretty, and it's just a lot more prettier than obviously dollars. But you can use dollars over there, they take, or Bermuda dollars, which is worth the same much. It's no different. But I do love the Bermuda money. It is really, really, really pretty. So if you want I would keep some when you get home, because you might not see that again, but like the change and stuff, I do love Bermuda money. It is pretty. So the drinking age in Bermuda is like the UK, it's 18. So if you live in America, I believe it's like 21 in it, or a different country, if you go over there, you can drink at 18. So Bermuda is a rich country, right? It is very expensive for food. So if you're thinking £50 a day for food is enough, no. You need probably about £100 a day per person, yeah? So like for example, eating out or eating in, it's about the same price. So you might as well eat out. For example, a frozen pizza, a cheese pizza, nothing special, is about $15. Okay? Which over here you get a frozen cheap pizza for 69p, 79p to a pound. So it's really, really expensive. But KFC is reasonable price-ish, right? Also, like if you wanted a like chicken, it's like $15 or something like that. So you might as well eat out. But it might be more expensive, you know, obviously years it changes. But eating in and eating out is, you might as well just eat out. It's really, really expensive basically for food. So fish sandwiches are like, oh, yummy, 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 oh, yummy. My tummy you can get from about $15. But all depends where you eat and what you eat. You know, you need at least $15 to eat something that is, you know, what's it called? But I'd say eating out per day, I'd have £100 just to be on the safe side. But you'd struggle with 50, especially when it's really expensive. So you can bring food over. So if you want to have cereal, bring boxes of cereal and maybe some oat milk or something like that. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if you can take oat milk, but I know you can take cereal, so look up into that. So if you can take food over and you're a bit on the budget, I would recommend put some food in your cereal. Bring some cereal over, right? So next thing, oh yeah, another thing is watermelon. A whole watermelon is like $29. Over here you can get one for £2. Okay, so it's really, really expensive, and that's in a supermarket. So it's really, really expensive. And if you want to have drinks, obviously they're a bit pricey too. So $100 is probably per person is probably just enough if you want budget meals sort of thing, you know. No, if you want really, really fancy stuff, then maybe a bit more money. But yeah, as I was like, oh my god, and I was over there, oh, it's this much for food. I didn't realise it would be this much for food. So, and if you're obviously taking your family, you need to be careful. Some things you could buy for breakfast and that before you start your day. And you go to one of the stores, it might work out slightly cheaper than eating out, especially when it's more than one person. But you just go to stores and buy the cheaper stuff. So another thing we want to know about Bermuda, it's not part of the Caribbean. You got the Bermuda Triangle, which the top is Bermuda. It goes to the other part is Manani, Florida area, and then it goes to St. Jane at the bottom. It's hundreds of miles away from any other land. Hundreds of miles. So that's another fact. It's the only little one in the ocean on its own, quite far away from anything else. Oh, and did you know you can only travel from 3 different places to get to Bermuda direct? One is the UK. You can actually go up from the UK straight to Bermuda, and it's about 8 hours flight. Oh, yes, Bermuda is a UK island. One thing to watch out in Bermuda, which I never actually saw when I was out there, is jellyfish. Jellyfish that sting. So watch out, there should be warnings on the beach about them. Another thing about Bermuda, do not drink the tap water. If you drink tap water, you will have diarrhea. I had ice and I had a bit of diarrhea. So don't drink the tap water or don't have the ice, okay? So basically with the tap water, how they get their own water over Bermuda is the rain. You notice all the roofs are all white and stuff. They collect the rain on the roof and it goes into the waters, and that's how they get the water over Bermuda. So just make sure you get bottled water, okay? So make sure you save enough to do that. Get it in the gallons. Make sure you get a make, because some of the waters over there, they can be refilled. You recycle the bottle and they refilled it up with normal rainwater, what they got over there, what they filter out. But just make sure you get, obviously you get one of the probably makes you used to having. They do nice wet makes, and you can taste the difference, but do not drink the water, okay? So you're not used to that water where you drink it because it's coming from the roof, from the rain. It's rainwater basically. So yeah, and notice a lot of Bermuda, the roofs are white, and they obviously get the water from that. Also, make sure you don't go in hurricane season. They do have hurricanes, they have winters and summers like us. I went in March, April time, and it was 22 degrees. It was perfect weather for me. Perfect. Now, another fact about Bermuda is they got ferries. You can go from the dockyard all the way into the middle of the island through a ferry. So, and it's a cheap way to go on to get from one side to the next really fast is a ferry. So if you can go on ferries, and they're quite big, and a lot of people can sit on them, and it's a cheaper way to go on the island. So you pay for tours on boats and stuff, and you go on the island. So if you want to have a look all the way on the island, it's a cheap way. You just get a ferry ticket, and it's actually quite nice to do. So places to visit in Bermuda are the beaches, obviously. Horseshoe Bay is one of my favourites, but also you can visit caves. it's quite pricey, but it is worth going down into the cave and walking around, and they do a talk about like a boy who from the cave years ago, like a boy, they were playing cricket or tennis or something, and one of the kids from the cave, and then obviously they had visitors, and back in the day, like the crystals and that from the cave, people used to break him off and take it with them. So there used to be a lot of that going on back in the day. But you go in the cave and it's really deep water, and it's really clear. And that's the thing about Bermuda, the water is like turquoise, really clear water. It is so beautiful. All on Bermuda, it's like the most magical place. Obviously I'm in the UK, you get the water, it's brown here, it's horrible. But in the UK, in the Bermuda, it is beautiful. So if you're going to enjoy Bermuda the most, you might as well just be on the beach all day. But it is nice to visit some caves. The city with the shop, Hamilton, the city is really good. But also the dockyard is really good too. You can swim with the dolphins. Also, you get swim with the dolphins. You get to go to the museum. And what got me about the museum, right? Was it was really sad. Obviously, when they first Bermuda was obviously was placed, you like in 1600s, you had people take Africans and stuff like that from their country over that area and onto a boat, right? And you see pictures of the boat, and they used to put them on top of each other, laying down. They would be slaves. Oh, and it's the saddest thing I heard. Obviously, knowing my nan's from there and her family on my dad's side, that's how they would have came to Bermuda. It's just really, obviously you get the history of Bermuda, but I had tears in my eyes about it, and I always think about it. So it's, sad what people used to do, and used to not some of them didn't make it, be sick and pooing on each other, laying down, and it would take ages to get to Bermuda from those countries back in those days on ships. So it is a workplace to go, and they obviously got dolphins there as well, and you can walk around. Beautiful buildings, nice places to like buy some like hats and coats and stuff, in the dockyard area. So it is really. So yeah, obviously the city, they got loads of shops and some fancy shops and loads of places to eat and stuff in Bermuda. And you notice when you're in the bus stops, you see a lot of chickens, wild chickens. Like over here, you see ducks crossing the roads. Over there, you see chickens. They have got a lot of chickens over there, by the way. And if you're a big fan of the pink sand, over there you can buy, like they sell pink sand in like lovely pretty necklaces and stuff, which is really good, as you're not allowed to pick up yourself the pink sand off the beach. You'll probably get into a lot of trouble with that, but they do pretty necklaces. I got a pretty necklace somewhere. I bought a cheaper one. I wished I bought the most expensive one. But there you go. Now, the best way to buy stuff in Bermuda is either cash. You can get traveller's checks, or I got a Mondo account, so I'd have a MasterCard. I would have a MasterCard from Monzo, and you can take things out in the shops and stuff. You can pay on your card, and it doesn't cost you a penny. But obviously, if you might use a normal card, it will cost you money. You get a MasterCard, You know, it's like, and I got a Monzo one. Monzo, and my sister has got a Monzo one, and she, referred me on the and then we got £5 each for doing that, so that's a good way. But if you do Monzo, it doesn't have to be Monzo, so that's the one I use, and I could use my card as I bought cash on me, but also I had that for emergencies once the cash ran out. Okay, so make sure you're in your budget, you get money just in case. Also, I had healthcare insurance, right? Because if you get hurt, it's going to be really expensive, so make sure you get travel cover. Yeah. I paid about £8 for it, around £10. It's different for all depends if you've got stuff wrong with you or anything, you know, it'll be different for everybody, but make sure you get that. But I was ill when I was in Bermuda, and when I got home a week later I had shingles, so I felt like my throat was all clogged up and stuff, so I bought myself Piriton, which was like $15, $16 or something like that. Headache tablets, they're expensive over there, so make sure you got enough, like, you know, stuff. If you're allowed to take it, check if you're allowed to take it from your own country, what country you're going to, and have it in your bag, like Piriton, ibuprofen and paracetamol, because it is quite pricey over there. And if you don't buy the makes you used to, like the Piriton make over here, if you bought it over there and it says it's the same thing but not the Piriton make, then it can make you all dizzy and drowsy and stuff, and you're not used to. So just make sure you buy the brand makes what you're used to seeing in your shops, just so you know it does the job. It's better, safer, and you know what you're getting. So yeah, just make sure you can, if you're allowed to take some over, otherwise make sure you got money to buy some, because you can always just get a headache, have an allergic reaction or anything. And yeah, so always make sure. One thing I wish I knew when leaving Bermuda, when you get to the airport, they have food places you can eat in, shops and stuff, but once you handle your luggage and go through to the other bit, they got sitting area and just a little place when they do drinks on one side, but a little, like, they sell little bit pieces, but it's nothing really there. So if you're hungry and you know you've got a couple of hours, get something to eat before you pass through. And if you want to go to the gift shops and stuff first, see, they got them outside the bit, they got a tiny one inside, but make sure you go to the gift shops and stuff first before you go through there. There's not really much to do but sit. So yeah, just make sure you do that. I did have airplane food, which I enjoyed when I was on the way to Bermuda and back. It was nice, and you're on it for 8 hours, you have 2 different meals, and I think you have a snack or something in between, and which is good because you get drinks and stuff. So make sure you take your own food and stuff on the plane if you're peckish, but also you do get like drinks and food on there as well. Just make sure you have the meal deal, because I found the plain food, because I found I was starving in the air. It was good that they did have on the plane, you could watch movies and stuff, that was good, but yeah, I would go for the option where you have food on the plane. It's worth it. So that's all I got to say now about Bermuda. It was like facts about Bermuda, sort of what to know before you go. If you want to know more stuff, I'll make another video and we'll go and I'll talk more detail about the stuff what maybe I've told you, or different stuff if I can think about anything. But probably my most memorable bit was going to Horseshoe Bay. That was my favourite bit. Being in the sand, pink sand, really clear to see. It was nice and relaxing. So I did travel all the way around the island and stuff, but if you were going to Bermuda, the best thing to do is be at the beaches. And obviously do a bit of travelling too, but just make your most of the time at the beaches when you're there. And thank you for watching. I hope this helped anyone. And remember, just a single apple is like £2 or $1.50 or dollars, or how we put it. Watermelon is like $30. So just make sure you bring enough money. Okay, so everything is really expensive.